Hey, we're cooking with gas here on the Jewcast.
Okay, careful using a phrase like that.
This trial is a travesty. It's a travesty of a mockery, of a sham, of a mockery, of a travesty, of two mockeries, of a sham.
Tradition!
Oh, shut up, Carl! Shut your goddamn Jew mouth! You people are why there's war in the Middle East!
Gekakken af een jam.
Nebbig.
Ver poepoepoe.
Vermischt.
Verkakt.
Vertut.
Verstonken.
Fartig.
Exactly.
You what Grammy Hall would call a real Jew.
Oh, hi there.
L'chaim, everybody.
We made it to 18, guys.
To life, y'all. We got 18 episodes. This is it. Our big 18th episode going on right now.
What a mitzvah that we got there.
We've lived as long to do 18 episodes. It's fantastic.
I feel pretty good about it.
I'm glad you feel good. I'm feeling good. I guess should we talk about Chai a little bit? Maybe people don't know about Chai and why Chai is so significant to Jews. Chai means life.
Right.
It's very important. I guess it's made up of two letters from the Hebrew alphabet, a yud and a chet. One is the 8th letter and one is the 10th letter. So together they become 18.
Yes. Numbers powers activate.
People think that it's, a good thing to give gifts or money in multiples of 18 because it's like giving life. To people. It's very significant. A lot of Jews wear jewelry that has the chai on it.
Right, the chai symbol.
It's kind of like about, again, life. They want to live life. And I guess the Shemona Esrei, a very popular prayer that's the center of most of Jewish religious services, also means 18. I read this. I thought it was interesting. You know who wore a chai necklace, non-Jew, towards the end of his life? The king himself, Elvis Presley.
Is that right?
That's right.
Elvis, huh?
He ain't nothing but a chai dog, apparently.
I used to have a joke in my act about I looked like the Jewish Elvis for a while myself with the big sideburns.
Okay, when you had those sideburns rocking it, all you needed was the chai, and you would have looked a lot more like him.
Do me a favor, don't step on my shoes. They're blue, they're suede, they're new.
So
I got them at half price, but still.
This is all our episodes have been 18 minutes, an homage to life. This is our 18th episode. We're thinking about changing up the format a little bit going forward. We want to thank everybody who's been listening thus far.
I know. I hope we have more than 18 listeners.
I sure hope. We definitely have more than 18 downloads, thankfully.
Right.
But we still don't have more than 18 comments on iTunes,
right? We need at
and
least
ratings.
Exactly.
So we please ask you guys to go on and hook us up with the 5 stars. It's a mitzvah for you, and it'll behoove us. And we're happy that this is our 18th episode, and we're excited about it and what all life has to bring us to the future. And to all our listeners, we wish them the best of life, and we hope that when they get a gift from their grandmother, it's actually more than $18.
Right. Well, l'chaim to that, I'll say.
Yeah, to life. Again, that's the cheers that the Jews do. Once again, taking on life. There's a lot of life going on.
A lot of life going on.
We're filled with life.
We're doing it.
And apparently, I guess we got a holiday coming up that has a little bit to do with life. It has to do with the harvest of the wheat in Israel, Shevuot.
Shevuot is coming up.
It's going to be this weekend, actually.
I don't know much about Shevuot. I mean, do you celebrate it? I knew it was the celebration of the harvest.
I mean, I don't personally celebrate it. I remember vaguely celebrating it growing up. I remember they had the staying up all night and studying thing, which was kind of just more like messing around with your friends to me.
Right.
But and eating cheese blintzes and stuff like that. But
I read a thing that it's there's sex involved in there. It's like maybe the studying is just a cover. Like, hey, we're gonna. It's
is that what's happening?
It's like the Netflix and chill of the old days. You gotta,
okay, I mean that I definitely did not know about growing up. But I'm into having sex whenever I can, whether it's a Jewish holiday or not.
It's Shevuot. Come over. We'll stay up all night and study the Torah.
We got to do it all night long because of Shavuos. I guess it has a double meaning because it's both the harvest of the wheat in the land of Israel is what we're celebrating, and it has to do with, I guess it's kind of like celebrating the actual day when God gave us the Torah at Mount Sinai.
That's what I read as well. But I also read, I thought it was a very interesting turn of a phrase, because I always say that all the Jewish religions are about food.
Right.
And there's the old Jewish joke that says you can sum up all of Jewish history with 3 phrases. They tried to kill us, we won. Let's eat.
Yes.
Well, supposedly the Shevuot version is we fucked in a field and got the Torah. Now let's make a cheese board.
Okay. I mean, that's, I think, what this writer of this article was trying to get off. Very flowery vocabulary he's using in terms of a Jewish holiday. I don't think it's a lot. I don't know who this writer is, but maybe we should try to get him on the podcast.
It was a woman.
I wonder who she's going to be banging this Shavuos.
Yeah.
So hey, get your cheese on, get your studying on, get your sex on for Shavuos. I mean, sounds fantastic. What a great holiday. I didn't realize it was that fun. I think they should market it like that, and it wouldn't be such a non-known Jewish holiday. I think it'd be more well-known if it was all about sex and cheese.
Well, because they focus so much on the reading of the scripture, and I think that's what turns people off. Because that's what you lost me there. You know,
lost you at the reading of the scripture.
Yeah, if we have to
but
stay up all night,
read the scripture, I guess it reads from the book of Ruth, apparently, where Ruth decided to become a Jew. She made the choice that she wanted to be a Jew.
Right, that's right.
She wants to join the chosen people.
And she falls in love. So there's a love story in there.
She falls in love with a Jew, and then she becomes a Jew. So maybe it has a little bit to do with, like, intermarriage. And she's like, was this the first intermarriage, Ruth?
I don't know. I what I do know is that they talk about how there's like a erotic story in there.
In the book of Ruth.
In the book of Ruth.
I mean, I heard that some people, like she cleaned Boaz's feet or something, and then was going to become like she wanted to be his wife, and that feet was really a euphemism for genitals.
Oh, really?
I mean, that's what I read earlier. I mean, that definitely isn't what they taught us at Hebrew school growing up.
Wash my balls, and ye shall become a Jew.
That's all it takes. If you're dating a shiksa and she wants to convert, the first thing she's got to do is clean your balls.
Right. Should let there be no cheese on the balls.
Oh, wow. You're totally ruining those cheese blintzes for me right now.
Well, I'm sorry.
I won't be eating any cheese on Shavuos anymore.
I mean, it's probably because I'm lactose intolerant myself.
Oh, okay.
I will not tolerate the blintzes.
I'm sorry that you won't be able to
I like a potato blintz.
I mean, I like a cheese blintz.
I like a cheese blintz too.
I like a cheese anything.
Yeah, well, I'm not a big... the cheese doesn't agree with me always all the time.
I'm so sorry for your affliction. You can't celebrate...
I'm afflicted.
The fullness of Shavuos because of your cheese issues.
I always think it's interesting that there's like these holidays that are from a totally different book than what the Torah portion is for that week. It's like it's like twice the amount of homework.
Okay, because we got to
learn
about Ruth.
Yeah.
We got to, I guess, remember about when God gave us the Bible on Sinai, and then it has this week's Torah portion as well.
Right.
But I guess Shavuot starts when? Like Saturday night, right after. Wow, it's like a double bang bang. Like Shabbat is over and we're going straight into a holiday.
Right in.
Man, you're really going to need to rest up on Saturdays.
Seriously, if you're going to stay up all night studying.
So this week's Torah portion is kind of nothing fancy.
It's a little dry. I mean, it's the creation of the 12 tribes of Israel.
Well, the tribes are already created, right? God's just kind of doing a census of them.
Right, he's just doing like a...
He wants to know how many people are in each tribe, and he's kind of like giving each tribe tasks of what they're going to do. Especially, I guess, when it involves the Levites, right?
Right.
They have to do something special because it was originally supposed to be like the job of the firstborns, but the firstborns, they participated in the golden calf, so it was taken away from them. So now they have to step up. So they aren't included in the census, but then they get their own census, and then I guess they're dealing more with like, the tabernacle and like, traveling with it, right?
Right. They have to travel with it and do all of the rituals before other people can pray with it.
One thing that I thought was a little funny when I read it was like Judah, the tribe of Judah was in the front, they were leading, and the tribe of Dan in the back. Get to the back, Dan. Dan's in the rear.
I know, it is interesting that, Dan is like the one name that we still use. The rest of these names,
Well, there's some Judahs.
Reuben, Simeon, Judah...
There's Reubens too.
Issachar, Zebulon.
I mean, Zebulon is a character on Star Trek, right?
Ephraim, Manasseh.
Ephraim, I know a
Benjamin.
couple.
I know a few Benjamins.
We know
Dan,
some Benjamins.
Asher, Gad.
Asher, we know.
Naphtali.
So those were all the 12 tribes of Israel, and It's weird they give the numbers of how many there were at that time.
Right. Well, I mean,
we're doing very well from this census. We've really been fruitful to multiply. I don't know if it was because of Shavuos or not. But.
Right. Well, it is the first book of Numbers. This book, in the Torah.
This week's Torah portion.
Yes, the first book of Numbers.
Okay. Oh, perfect.
So we're dealing with the numbers.
A lot of numbers now.
Yeah, a lot of numbers.
This is the mathematician's favorite part of the Bible.
I guess. I mean, we've talked about a lot of these Torah portions. So many of them sound or feel like contracts or spreadsheets. We're doing a lot of totaling up.
Okay, now
numbers-wise.
It's all coming together. Is this why people think Jews are good with numbers?
I guess
it comes from numbers.
Comes from numbers.
All right. Well, I guess the Torah portions are just going to get more boring right now.
Well, they're all pretty dry.
This one though. When I was reading about it, it made me wonder, like. I mean, we pretty much took a hard stand on these Torah portions and, like, the Bible, that it's kind of just, like, an allegory and these things didn't really happen and people are just, like, writing a story. But, like, when it comes to this one, it's like, who's making this up? Like, I don't understand. Like, oh, there's this many of this tribe and this many of that tribe and you go here and you go there and you go. It just seems like who, like, did the biggest math nerd start, like, I got this section, everybody. Like, oh, God, Poindexter over here is writing about numbers.
Yeah, it feels like that. It also feels like, maybe how do you know how many people are in that tribe? I feel like it's do they have like a sorting hat like on Harry Potter?
I don't know. They
find out what tribe
they were
in?
counting. They were doing a lot of counting. Moses did a lot of work. God really put him and Abraham, like, gosh, did they get a vacation or something ever?
I feel like, they're in charge of a lot of shit.
They really have, like, so much responsibility. Like, delegate, man. Like, delegate it.
Right. You gotta have more than just a handful of people doing your bidding.
Moses and his brother, like, really, like, did everybody's work.
Yeah, they went above and beyond.
Totally.
Yeah.
I feel bad for them.
Moses, not a big complainer.
Moses, wow, what a guy.
Like I'm saying, as far as Jews go, you would think that the king of the Jews would be a bigger complainer.
I mean, he really was just like God's number one.
You don't even really see him, talking about his back or his knees.
I mean, he climbed up Mount Sinai twice, through the desert, parting seas, counting Jews.
Right.
I mean, forget about sheep. That'll put you to sleep.
Right. They're killing members of his family left and right just for
right. God has no rachmanis on him. Like, oh well, you're doing everything for me. I'll let it slide.
Right.
He's like, oh no, they're going down.
Maybe that's why he doesn't complain because
he's afraid that God's going to take him out.
Yeah, there's got to be some fear there.
It's a possibility,
right? I mean, sometimes you have to be careful about whose wrath you're going to incur.
You definitely don't want to incur the wrath of the Old Testament God because he is a spiteful mofo.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if anybody incurs anything besides wrath. I've never heard of anything else being incurred.
I don't know, debt maybe?
Debt? Oh, yeah, I've incurred debt. Forgot about that.
Forgot about debt.
I haven't.
Sorry, my white privilege for a minute made me forget about it. But now it's back and I'm remembering.
Well, this is exciting that we made it to 18 episodes. I feel like it's a very meta episode for us.
Well, 18 has kind of been a theme or a template for our episodes, and now this is our 18th episode, so it's kind of nice. It's kind of like, we're celebrating life in this episode. We should have gotten some drinks or something and really made a party out of it.
Seriously, I dropped the ball that I didn't have any.
You're really blowing it, man.
I didn't have any Manischewitz on hand.
We needed some Kedem at least, a little of that grape juice, which I'll drink all day. By the way, I think it's delicious.
I have some iced tea.
Welch's could suck it. I'm Kedem 100%.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right. I'm not a big grape juice guy myself. I haven't had grape juice.
Oh my gosh, Jordan, no grape juice, no cheese.
I mean, I do like purple drink.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I like purple drink.
Okay.
But grape juice is just, it's not enough sugar.
Really? Have you had it? It's sweet.
Right, but have you had purple drink?
I have. I'm more of a fan of grape juice.
Okay.
Of the real thing.
All right. I like the synthetic sometimes.
Okay, you like it fake. I like it real.
I like to just...
Glad we could finally get some arguing going on the podcast. It took us 18 minutes to really have opposing views. Jordan's a big grape drink guy, and I'm going hardcore with the grape juice.
Well, I don't know. I think that when you get into candy and certain things, that you can identify the flavor just by the color. Purple, red, those are flavors. Red is a flavor.
Yeah, strawberry or cherry or raspberry, typically.
Right, typically. But, if you'd closed your eyes and you didn't know which one it was that you were eating, you couldn't be able to tell me.
I don't know. Well, maybe we'll have to do a blind taste test. I think maybe I would know a little bit. It depends what the candy was.
Yeah, I guess. We'll have to, we need to get some good Jewish candies. Are there good Jewish candies?
I mean, ones that aren't kosher to Passover, there has to be. None are coming to mind right now just because I think non-kosher candy is just cornered the market.
Yeah, I think
it's just much better.
Candy cornered the market.
There's just no like Jewish candy that you're just like, oh my god, this Jewish candy is so good. There's like the fruit leathers, the kosher fruit leathers that like the fruit roll-ups, but they're like bigger and they have a little more like fruit zest in them.
Right.
I think those are good. Those are kosher. What are they called? Like Joya or something like that?
Oh, I don't know. I know that they make like the edible panties out of that stuff.
But not the good one. Not the good stuff.
No?
No, but hey, maybe you could get yourself some edible panties for Shavuos.
That would be pretty good.
I think one thing that really I've become more aware of, and obviously I've been very passionate about over these last 18 episodes, is the plight of the Palestinian people. Mm-hmm. How, just because you could be anti things that Israel does doesn't mean that you hate all Jews. It's very unfortunate. Anti-Semitism is on the rise. We hope that maybe our podcast could do a little to quell that. Us Jews ain't all that bad.
I mean, the other thing I listen that I've noticed as we go through all these Torah portions is that, number one, God is like a fucking broken record. He has to repeat himself 100 times. It seems like the Jews are very bad listeners. He just has to keep repeating over and over. You have to keep doing these things for me. Don't fuck your cousin. Don't.
Maybe that's why people think Jews are so pushy. That's where we get it from God, where we just keep on saying the same thing over until we get our way, until we get what we want.
I mean, like, I feel like if you had to write a book report on the Torah, you would get poor marks if you put in as much filler as they put into the Torah.
You think?
Yeah, it's just like so much extra.
They'd be like, oh my God, you already said this.
Yes, exactly.
It's, again, just, God bossing the Jews around.
Well, I hope you guys are following us on all the social medias.
Me too. I hope you're following me personally on Instagram at Jonathan Randall.
You can follow me on the gram as well at BeatnikNudnik. And if you want to send us an email about anything that you wish that we would discuss or comment on things that we have discussed in the past, we're at AmericanJewPodcast@gmail.com.
Or if you just want to set one of us up with your beautiful daughter or granddaughter, just email us some pictures of her. Again, on social media, we are at American Jew Podcast on everything except for Twitter. We're just at American Jew Pod.
Chai.
L'chaim.
L'chaim.